Hey artsy friends, I don't have a fancy intro because this video is kind of something a little different. So my Facebook group, this is my Facebook group. It's not really mine. I don't own it. But I moderate it. Anyway, one of my friends in the group, Carolyn Ann, is doing a heart journal for the year. So I think her goal is to have 365 hearts for 2025. And I know some of them that she makes, she gives to other people, and she invited anybody to send her some hearts. So I thought that would be a fun little project. So I'm going to make her some hearts and I'm going to share the process with you in case you feel inspired. To begin with, I'm going to start with the size envelope that I'm going to send her the hearts in. So I want to make sure that I don't make one that's too big. But I would like to make them as big as possible without going over the size of the envelope. So I'm just taking this is just a misprint that I had. I make my own planners. That's what that is. So I'm going to cut out a heart and position it okay, that's pretty big. It would definitely fit in the envelope, but I think I could make it even a little bit bigger. And I'm not sure I liked that shape of heart. It's a little bit wonky. So anyway, I'm just going to try a few different sizes and shapes and of hearts to try to figure out what size I want to make and if it'll fit. So this time, okay, this is definitely too weird. So I'm going to try to recut that, and it's still too weird. So I'm going to try to recut it again. So it's kind of like some trial and error. And then I thought, oh, I could recut it to size so that I have the exact height of the envelope, so it'll fit sideways. Does that make more sense? Yeah. Okay. So here is my template. Ta-da! Yes, I like the shape of that heart. So I'm going to use that on some cardstock. Actually, I'm going to use watercolor paper because I thought I would start with some playing with watercolor because I'm in the mood for watercolor. So I'm going to use that heart as a template to cut out my first heart. Okay, so I'm just positioning it on the page and then tracing with a pencil. And then I'm going to cut it out with my scissors. Ta-da. Okay, liking that shape. Okay, I'm going to put it on this little background so you can see it a little bit easier. Okay, I'm going to get a fine liner out because I'm going to start with a quote, and Carolyn and I share a same faith. So I'm going to start with a Bible verse, and I'm looking I have actually a whole list of verses that have to do with the heart. So I thought that would be perfect for the heart. And so I am going to, first I'm copying it down into a journal that I keep for daily. Well, I haven't been doing it daily, but typically when I do Bible study, I pick a verse from the section that I'm reading and copy it into a journal. So I'm going to do that first just so I have it right next to me, and then I'm going to write it on her heart. Okay, so the verse that I chose was from Psalm 27:14. It's "Put your hope in Yahweh, be strong and let your heart take courage." Just a nice word of encouragement. So my plan is to write in my verse in kind of blocky bubble letters, and then I'm going to use my watercolor paints to fill in the negative space. All right, now for the fun painting part. For some reason, I've always really enjoyed painting or coloring in negative space. Something satisfying about it. Maybe it's kind of like it's coloring, but outside the lines, literally. So I don't remember if I intentionally grabbed red first, but it kind of made me think, I think I'm just going to kind of do Roy G. Bev rainbow order. So I'm going to start with red. Then I'm just going to kind of blend in some orange, and then yellow, green, blue, purple. And I'll make my way across the heart. Okay, I'm liking that. Here, I'll give you a little closer. I think it needs a little bit more though. So I'm gonna go back with a fine liner and I'm going to outline, I'm gonna inline the characters. Try to make the letters like just a little bit more interesting. Okay, so it feels pretty basic, and I'm usually a maximalist, but I think this will do. I'm just gonna outline the edge to kind of just bring it all together. I like that. I think that adds just a little bit of pop. So I'm gonna sign it, Artsy Erin, and then I'm gonna send that to her. And then I just had so much fun that I decided I'm gonna do another one. Okay, for my next heart, I always give Robin Mead kind of credit for the style that she kind of introduced me to. And I start with a pencil sketch, and then I'm going to just take alcohol markers, fill those in, and then I'm going to go back with a black Posca marker usually, and do the outline that just kind of redefines it. So I have a little bit of floral, a little bit of doodle, but I'm creating little pockets of space that I know that I'm going to be coloring in. And so I just kind of want to make it interesting. Okay, now it's time to pick out some colors that I want to use. So I got this ginormous collection of 120 different colors. And sometimes the example color on the caps doesn't actually do a good job of representing the color of the marker ink. So I'm just kind of creating a few swatches to decide which color combinations I like. So I will start from there and then just do a little bit of coloring. Alcohol markers do sometimes like show the streaks, so sometimes you have to do like more than one layer if you want it to really cover, or you could leave it a little thinner in places to give it almost like a watercolor type feel. Okay, so now I'm going to go fill in my doodles with some various thickness of lines. So I'm going to start with like a really thin liner, outline the petals. I'm just going to play around with each of the doodles and just do some various marks. Okay, I like this heart. It's simple, but that's kind of the style that I do when I do these like blobby doodles. So yeah, okay, so I have 2 hearts done. Okay, and I'm gonna do one more. So I did trim down one of the original templates that I was experimenting with, and I'm just gonna turn this into something. I did, like I said, I trimmed it down just a little bit. So I'm gonna start with some of my bright colors because as of the last probably year, I think the majority of my style has been with these like neon colors, bright colors. So I definitely wanted to give Carolyn something that was kind of like my Artsy Erin style. I thought I would do both sides for this one, but I'm realizing as I am working, well, I didn't realize it until I tried to flip it over that, oh, the original paint, the first side wasn't dry, and so I just peeled off some of the paint, but I actually think it looks really cool. So I'm going to try to dry that, and then I'm going to take a map and then just kind of collage over the torn piece because it's too thin to just leave it that way, but I do kind of like the torn look. So I'm just gonna take my glue stick, and I don't have to worry about the size right now. I'm just gonna glue that map down, and then I will cut from behind to make it flush. So ta-da. So I'm gonna do another Bible verse that has to do with hearts, and that is, let those who seek Yahweh have joyful hearts. I don't remember the reference. Sorry, you'll have to Google it. You know, it's funny, I have all these Bible apps on my phone, and when I want to try to find a verse specifically that I'm looking for, and I know part of it, Google usually takes me there. Even better than some of the Bible apps. So anyway, let those who seek Yahweh have joyful hearts. Well, that completes my 3 hearts for Carol and Anne. So if this looks like fun, it's really easy. Maybe you can make some for people. I bet people like at a retirement home or nursing home or anybody would like them. You could just leave them hidden in public bathrooms. I don't know if that's legal, whatever. Just something to brighten someone's day. Well, I hope that you're having a great day and that you'll come back and hang out with me again. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.